Hello guys, AlexTheGrumpyOne here again. I hope you're well guys, and today I got episode 2 for you. But before I go into that guys, I would really like to say thank you very much for all the support guys, for all your comments and messages and sharing of my content as well. I'm really surprised that you loved my first episode. I mean, I know my video and editing skills are not great. I'm kind of starting to get into it now, but honestly, I really appreciate your support. It has been mental. I'm trying to answer to everyone, and your suggestions are amazing as well. I mean, so far, I've made a list and I got at least 27 episodes to do for you guys, so that's brilliant. There's going to be a lot of stuff on there. I'm really excited with this guys, and you just make it a lot better for me, because it's great to have people that actually like the content and obviously appreciate it. And like I said, the suggestions are obviously great. Some of you just honestly just showing me some stuff that will be awesome to show other people. So keep it coming please guys. And yeah, let's get now into the full service episode, which is what I've promised. So I know this looks a bit busy, but I just want to explain you shortly what I got here. So I got the genuine parts here for the full service. So I got the air filter there, I got the pollen filter. So this is a bit tricky because from what I've seen so far, the pollen filter apparently only come on the models after 2003. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I've checked on my one, it has got a pollen filter. I got the oil filter there. I also have to change the pollen filter, and the last owner was a smoker, so I'm going to try and do aircon treatment to get rid of the smell, see if that works after I've done the pollen filter. Got the brake fluid there as well. This is something that I like to do on every service, is the fuel treatment. So this is for petrol obviously, so I definitely recommend doing that. It cleans your system well. Obviously we've got the screen wash there. This side, this is like, I would say, a winter pack. I'm going to be doing video on just a winter check on a car. But for full service this is perfect as well. So you got the coolant check tool there. This is a great tool guys. This will show you the strength of your coolant in the system. This is very important because you don't want it to be weak, because if it is, especially now in the winter time, it can freeze, and that will be pretty much massive engine issues. Also, if it's not good, it will cause the internal corrosion and etc. So it's definitely important to have this tool, and for the price it's definitely a perfect thing. I'm going to put all this stuff in the description below guys, so if you need anything just let me know, and it's going to be on there anyway. So this is another great tool. This is the brake fluid tester, I'll call it pen. So this is the expert one. So what you do is obviously take the end off, you put the battery in, and this will show you the strength of your brake fluid, how much moisture you got in it, which is very important because you don't want to have any moisture in there. So like I said, this is definitely an amazing tool to have as well. Then we've got the brake pad thickness gauges there, which is perfect. The tire thread gauge as well, the digital one, and the pressure one as well. And in case your pressure is low, I got a perfect air inflator there. As you can see, that got lights as well. So this is just goes in your 12-volt socket, which is perfect guys, very handy thing to have in your boot. And finally, I got the diagnostic tool here. Well, and don't forget the triangle. That's great because this car hasn't got one, so you're gonna have one now. The diagnostic tool guys is something that I want to talk to you. So my one, this is more, I would say, professional level one, because they're quite expensive. You don't necessarily need this one, but I'm going to use this one to check the real mileage of the car. I'm going to plug into it. I'm going to check if you got any fault codes and etc., and check some live readings as well, which is very handy. So this is a great tool to have when you're buying a car as well, to check everything. It does save you a lot of money because you can find some issues that will probably make you rethink your strategy on buying a car. So yeah, I'm going to be using this as well to show you how to diagnose fault codes, and like easy way of checking a misfire in the car. This is a perfect tool for that as well, and just guiding yourself by the live readings you get on the car as well. So speaking of diagnostic tools, this is not the only one I got. I have got the cheaper options, and I do want to use them as well to show you kind of the difference, what you can do on the cheaper versions. And if there's any specific tool they would like me to do as well, please let me know, because I might be able to get a demo and show you how that works on the car as well. So yeah guys, I think this is the perfect kit that we got today. Like I said, I do know that it looks a bit busy, but we will use all of this, and I think it's great to have so much stuff to show you, because like I said, my point of view is just trying to show you as much as I can guys, to make it easier for you and make the best selection on tools, and obviously service parts as well for yourself. So yeah guys, I think we're gonna start now with the episode 2 on the full service guys. I think the beginning will be me showing you under the engine, under the bonnet, sorry, what we got there. And just, I know some of you already know what you got there, but obviously for people that might know everything about the under the bonnet situation, I think it'll be handy to show you everything that you got there or what you're gonna need to do and where everything is located. So let's start with that guys. Right guys, so I think it's a good idea to start with the engine bay, and just, I know some of you might know already what's under here and what everything is, but some of you might not. So I just wanted to do a quick video just to explain you everything that's going on under the bonnet. So obviously you got the engine here, this is the oil cap, obviously where you top up the oil, or when you changed it, this is where you fill it up. So don't forget to close it after you've done the service, obviously make sure that that's tight. Then you got the coil packs here, 4 of them. Under them you got the spark plugs, so depending on your service interval you might need to change them, or you can just take them out and check them. So here's the dipstick to check your oil level. So you got the max mark there and the minimum mark. My oil was quite dark, obviously it's due to service, but it's on the maximum, so that's good. So here we got the brake fluid bottle, so reservoir. You got min and max mark there as well, so you need to keep it close to max if possible. It's only got rubber cover on them, it's not locked, you just pull it up. There you go. You got the information about the brake fluid type you got there, because you can have different brake fluid types. You need to make sure you got the right one. You can have .4, .5.1, and etc. So if you look here, you got the power steering bottle, so you can undo that, and you're going to have a marks, say min and max, so you need to keep that on the level as well. Here you got the screen wash bottle, that's where you're going to top it up. So this is the air box, so the air filter is under there. I'm going to show you in a bit how to change that. This is your car battery, it's located there. And here you got the relay and fuse box. So you got one here, and you also got some fuses and relays inside the car. The coolant bottle, which is quite important, is under this plastic cover. So you got the min and max level there. You can see if you look from here, so you'll see the bottle and you see the level. You can use a torch to look at it, but I'm going to show you that better in a second when I'm taking the cover off anyway. So it's held in by 5 plastic clips. You got one there, another one there, and one there. I got a couple missing, but anyway, we're going to be taking it off in a bit. So yeah guys, I think this is pretty much the general idea of what's happening here. There's also auxiliary belt I'm going to show you once the cover is off as well. But I thought this give you a good idea of what's happening here. Right guys, so the brake fluid, we will be replacing it, but I just want to show you this new tool from Draper, like I showed you in the beginning. Just to make it clear, like I said, there's 8 different types there. And I'm going to, obviously you have to select, once you put the battery on, you power it on, as you can see it comes on, and you select on the numbers which brake fluid you got on there. It usually says on the top. So usually on this one I know it's going to have .4, but you also got the Toyota .3, which is the older one, or you can have 5.1 on the newer ones. But I'm going to go with .4, which is the general brake fluid these days. So let's get the top off. So all I have to do is obviously take the bottom off, press the power button, it's ready when it's green. I've selected number 2 for the .4 and just place it in there. And as you can see, it's already taking the reading. So we're in the OK area, so it's just on the limit. 2 of them are on. If it had 3, then that means there's too much water in there, so it will need replacing. But like I said guys, we're going to be replacing the brake fluid here anyway for the purpose of this. So as you can see, it goes off automatically. You can reset that on there. So just to show you, obviously we're on 2 still. You can switch it to different type, and it will take the reading according to the different type, because like I said, the product you got in each type of brake fluid is different and reacts differently to the water. So there we are guys. All you have to do now is just obviously clean it. Make sure you don't get any of the brake fluid on the bodywork, because it will damage your bodywork. So just get a bit of paper and clear everything off. Right guys, so this is the power steering fluid. So just undo it. And I'm going to clean this up because it's quite dirty, just to show you the level marks. So you got the dot there for the minimum and you got the bigger dot for the maximum. So just put it back in there, lock it in, undo it, and you can see that we're on the level, so that's good. Just do it back up. The good thing about Toyota as well is on the top covers, it pretty much says everything that you're going to need. So this is use Dextron type ATF fluid. So it pretty much tells you what type of fluid you're going to need for this, and this is really handy. I think Toyota has done very well with that. Right guys, so there's a screen wash bowl like I said earlier. So we're going to top it up. You got a little filter in here just to keep the rubbish out that you might have in a bottle. So let's just top it up with the ready to use screen wash. Right guys, so it is important to use a proper screen wash, and the reason is this one will not get frozen in the winter time. The problem is if you just put water in there, you're going to get frozen. That will seize up your pump that you got in there, and that will either damage your pump or it will blow on the fuse for the pump, and you don't want that to happen. It's cheap enough just to get a proper screen wash, guys. Right guys, like I said, check the coolant. We're gonna get them clips out. They're non-genuine clips, but it does the job. It's holding it on there. So let's get them off. Put them somewhere safe, because you're gonna need them. And now it should be able to come off. Right guys, so like I said, once you take the cover off, you can see a lot of stuff here. It opens up quite well. So if you look, you can see the level there very well with the torch next to it of the power steering. You can also have a look at the alternator state. You can have a look at the auxiliary belt, as you can see there. I can see there's age-related cracking, as you can see there on that belt. So that will be advisable to replace that soon, because that's the wear. Obviously there's a lot of tension on there. If you look down there, that's your auxiliary belt tensioner. You need a spanner or a special tool to pull it to get the belt off. So that's where the tensioner is located, guys. It is quite common for them to go as well. It starts getting noisy once it's gone, because you've got a little spring in there behind those black covers. There's going to be a spring there that's keeping all the tension. And obviously now you can see the coolant bottle as well. And like I said, my one is below minimum, so you got there low and full. I think my one is low due to last owner trying to do a thermostat and bleeding the coolant. I think he haven't done it properly, but I will be replacing the thermostat anyway. I bought a new one because I want to do it myself and show you how to do it as well. And I think it will be very important to show you how to do the coolant change as well while we're here, because a lot of people have struggled and asked me as well on how to do a proper coolant change and bleeding, because a lot of people suffer with bleeding, that they still got air in the system. There is a certain procedure they have to do to get rid of all the air. While I'm here, guys, I want to tell you that never open the cap when the vehicle is hot, when the engine is hot, or when it's running, because there will be quite a bit of pressure in there, and the coolant gets very hot. It gets to like 90 degrees. So if you open it up, the steam will come out and some coolant will come out and it can burn you. So please be careful, guys. You got all the warning messages on top of it anyway. Right guys, so this is the part on the air filter. I got the air filter part number if you want here. So to get it out, there's 3 clips holding it in. There's one down here. I'm going to try and shine the light there. So you just push it off. The other one's under the sensor. Unclip it there, and the other one's here. So once they undone, you can push it slightly forward and the whole thing will open up. Just push it to the left a little bit to go past the side light bulb socket there. And here we got the air filter. Just lift it up and it will come out. So the air filter actually doesn't look too bad. That looks quite clean, so that's good. But we're still going to replace it. I think this is, that's Crossland one. So we're going to replace that with the new one. Lovely. So just lift it up again, slide it in there, make sure it locates correctly and the rubber sits on properly. Go past the side light bulb sensor there, push it down, slide it back so they go back in the locators, and lock the clips back on. Just double check the bottom one. That's locked in, that one's locked in, and that one's locked in. And that's your air filter part done, guys. Right guys, so this is the part on the spark plugs. It will depend on what type of the spark plugs you got in there. The genuine ones, they usually last about 60,000 miles till they need servicing, obviously replacing, but you can measure your gap as well, etc. So I just want to take one out. Like I said, my one's not due yet, so I just wanted to show you how to get one out. So you unplug it first. You can use a tiny little screwdriver just to leave the plastic up a little bit. It comes undone. Next thing you're going to need is 10mm to get the bolt out. Once you've done that, you'll be able to get the coil out. And this is obviously the same what you have to do if you're replacing your coil in case of misfire. I'm going to show you that in the future episodes as well, how to diagnose that. And now I'm just going to use the ratchet to get the spark plug out of there. So they will be tight there. This is the reason why I don't use the air gun or etc. or impact ratchet on them, because I want to feel them if they're coming undone, because sometimes the spark plugs can get seized up in there, especially on the older cars. So I usually use a ratchet. I have seen some people using the impact guns, but I definitely don't recommend that. So here we are guys, there's a spark plug. Alright, so let me just get the spark plug out of here and you can see, so this is NGK spark plugs. This is obviously where you measure the gap as well, but like I said, usually you just replace the spark plugs. What I'm going to say guys while we're here is, in case you don't know, the order of the cylinders, so you got number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, they go from the chain side, in case you're diagnosing a misfire or etc. So this is the order that they go to. When you're installing the new spark plugs, like I said guys, my ones are not due, so when I get the new ones, I'm going to put a bit of grease, even on the older one, I'm going to put a bit of grease on there just to make it easier going back in. So that's what I'm going to do now. So here we are guys, just a little bit of copper grease on there on the thread, not too much. And that will make it a lot easier to go back in there. There we are. Like I said, I'm going to put the torque settings in the description below for these guys, in case you want to know what it is. Don't forget, it has got a squashable washer on them, so you feel that slight difference there. When it gets to the end, it will go a little bit more. There we are, that's done up now. And now we can fit the coil back in. Be very careful when you're dealing with the coils guys, because if you drop it, that's pretty much the end of the coil, so you definitely don't want to drop that on the floor. So don't forget to connect the plug and put your 10mm back in there. There you go, that's all done up. And like I said, this is obviously going to be the same procedure on all the others. Right guys, so once you're done under the bonnet, doing all the checks on there to start with, like I've explained, the first thing I would do is to check if all of your lights working. Obviously I'm not going to show you, but I'm sure you know how to put the side lights on and check your indicators, brakes and the fog light. I mean, everyone got a phone now, so I know if you're on your own you can check your rear lights, but just put the phone behind the car, set on record on the video and just use your brakes, reverse, indicators, the fog light and etc. And obviously the same on the front, just check that all of your lights are working. In my case, one of my headlight bulbs doesn't work now. I'm pretty sure it's going to be thanks to the humidity being in there, to be honest, so that will need replacing. But I will be doing an episode on replacing of all the lights on the whole car, so that's going to be handy. The other thing inside guys, you need to check the steering, make sure there's no play in the steering, make sure it locks when you got the key out. Also have a look if your seats are sliding back and forwards and they're locking in place, so you obviously got the adjuster under it. Check your seat belts, just give them a pull, make sure they lock, and make sure they lock in your buckle as well and release properly. Check all of them in there. Obviously check all your mirrors that they're attached. This is more like MOT side of me speaking now. The other thing I would say is wipers as well. Check your rubbers if they're not split, or if they clean the windscreen properly. You just operate your front wipers and the rear ones. Sometimes, you know, it's quite common on the Celicas that the jet washers get blocked. Right guys, so speaking of the jet unblocking, here's the little tool. It's just under a tenner, as you can see. I got my one from US Pro Tools. So what you got is all different sizes that you can get, and that's all you have to do is just push it in to your jet washer hole. You got 2 of them, and don't forget they're also adjustable, so you can use the bigger one just to adjust it slightly higher or lower depending on where you want it to obviously hit the windscreen. So yeah, this is the perfect kit, guys. I'm sure there's other things that you can use this on as well. So yeah, I'll put that in the description below if you want. Right guys, so here we got the pollen filter. Like I said, this is, as far as I'm aware, from 2003 onwards, so check it please. So here's the part number for the pollen filter. Let's get the old one out. So like I said, it's behind the glove box. You got 2 plastic holders in there that you have to turn anti-clockwise and pull them out, as you can see there. So just turn them and pull them out. Same on that side. Sorry, the right one you have to turn clockwise. There you go. Now it should drop all the way down. And in there you got the pollen filter. So let me get the camera in there. As you can see, there it is. So technically you should be able to squeeze that in both sides. Squeeze that one and that one, and here we are. It just comes out, the whole plastic holder. Yeah, Jesus Christ, yeah, that hasn't been done for a while, so I forgot about that. Bloody hell. Right, as you can see, that has got a lot of crap in there, so we're definitely going to be changing that and using the aircon treatment as well to clean the whole system. I'm going to show you how to do it in the, after I've done the service. That's going to be in the end. So yeah, I'm going to show you what the new one should look like. Right guys, so this is what the new one should look like. It locks in there in place. There's little bits of plastic holding it in pretty much, so just push it in and slide it back in there. And lock it in. Right guys, so let's do the quick DTC scan on this. So I got the ignition on, plugged in my diagnostic tool. The OBD socket is right under the dash on the right side. So I got the diagnostic tool plugged in. So let's have a look what codes we got now. So obviously each diagnostic tool will be different. So going to Toyota there. So this is where you can get a lot of information. Obviously, I know car is slightly older. On the new cars you can get a lot more info, but you can still get lots of stuff on here, live data and etc., which is very helpful, which I'm going to show you now once it loads up, because like I say, it does take a while. You can also code the key with this, or erase the keys that have been coded previously. In my case, I only got one key, so I'm going to erase all the other keys just in case. Right, so here we are guys. So DTC, I already checked it earlier, like I said, so they're clean, so that's good. There you go. You can do the data analysis, which is where you're going to get all the live data, so you can go through all the options there. So you can see all the readings are going to be there when the car's running, going to be showing you all the readings, which is great. So this is going to be perfect for the misfire as well. So you've got plenty of functions there and plenty of readings. So we're not going to get too much into it at the moment. Right guys, so before I go ahead and change the engine oil, I have decided that it probably will be a good idea to split this episode into 2 parts. As it has got quite a bit of info in it, and I don't really want to make it boring for you or too long. So I have got a lot more info coming into the next part of this. So definitely stay tuned for that, and give us a like if you enjoyed this first part. So yeah, thank you very much for watching this video guys, and stay tuned for the next week, and I'll see you soon. Bye.